Good day, people, and welcome to this tutorial about everybody's least favorite thing to do in VFX, which is rotoscoping. Why do you ask? Is it everybody's least favorite? Well, it's because it takes forever, and it's tedious and time-consuming, but you have to do it to get the job done. So let's look at our today's schedule. Bits per channel, masking, and hand masking, rotoscoping. So bits per channel, let me put a little start next to it. Before you start a project in After Effects, what you want to do is click over here on 8 bits and change it to 16 bits or 32 bits. 16 is just fine for internet and stuff. And basically what that does is basically increase the color depth. So here's a quick little example. 8-bit gradient, you don't want that, it looks hideous. 8-bit gradient dithered. It's not how After Effects manages that, but this is a 24-bit gradient, and you'll see it's a lot smoother than the 8-bit one. So basically we're going with 16-bit, which pretty much looks the same. But yeah, that is what bits per channel is. Alright, so let's have a quick look at what we're going to create today. Now what I'm going to show you, we're not creating the breakdown video, we're just creating the effect itself, and that's just showing you how it's done. So basically we're going to grab footage, we're going to cut out the car, and then we're going to layer myself on top of it, and we're going to cut myself out frame by frame. Got it? Cool. So download the footage that's in the description, and let's go right along. So you'll get this background plate and reflection. You might actually get the actual roto layer if you decide to give up. I don't encourage you to give up. I encourage you to try it out, but you might get a third piece of footage. So background plate, drag down to the comp button, let it go, creates a new comp. You've seen it before. Next up, reflection, just drag it on top of there. And there you go. And I believe they're pretty... Oh, it moves a tiny bit. It shouldn't matter too much. Alright, so let's get to... First of all, let's get to cutting out the car, because that's what we want. So, what we're basically doing, as you saw in the preview video, we're cutting out the car, and then we're putting it on top of this footage, so it looks like there's two cars. And then once it looks like there's two cars, once I walk in front of it, a little problem happens where I end up looking like the car's behind me and stuff, and it's not what we want. So like over here you'll notice it looks like the car is on top of me. Anyway, so let's cut out the car, why don't we? So what we're going to do to cut out the car, basically increase your quality to full. Once again, I'm working with 1080p footage. I shouldn't because I'm recording, that's slowing me down, but whatever. So I'm just going to go over here, reach over to the pen tool, aka press the G key. And basically just going to go around the car, selecting it to the best of your abilities. So just give me a minute to do that. There you go, so we got our car cut out. At this point, we got to cut out the shadow because we can't just get rid of it. To do that, you're going to go over here into reflection, drop it down, go into mask. And let's change that. Let's change that to none, actually. Yeah, okay, let's change it to none. Okay, so once you change your mask to none, actually let's select that, press enter, and then type in car, just so we know what it is. You're going to grab the pen tool again, and then you're going to trace around the shadow. And the reason we were doing two masks is because we're going to feather these masks differently. So this one's probably going to be feathered like 1 or 2 pixels, but this one's going to be feathered like 100 pixels. So I'm just going to go over here and select the shadow of the car. Okay, and done. So you want to add this one to add, and add this one to add as well. And now... look at that, you have a shadow for your car. But like I said, I want to feather this out so it looks better. So click on mask 2, let's actually press enter, title this shadow, and then drop it down, feather, crank that up. Cool. And now that it's feathered, let's just move this up. There we go. Just so we don't see my shirt through it. Good. Okay, good. It's looking alright. And now that we're at this stage, you can see what the problem is. I'm not in front of the car, which I should be. And this is when rotoscoping comes in handy. Now, sadly, this clip isn't actually going to work with the roto brush, so that means we're going to have to go in manually and roto it ourselves. So before I do that, let me just click on that to see how long it's going to take me to walk in front of the car and completely clear it, because we don't need to roto the whole clip just when I'm walking in front of the car. So let me just dumb this down a bit so it goes a bit faster. Alright, so you see me, actually let me turn on the opacity. So you see me go in front of the car. Okay, actually let me duplicate the background plate because we gotta have a duplicate of it anyway. So I clear the car right about there. So yep, baby, that's good. Right there. There we go, that's fine. I'm holding down shift and I'm letting it clip. Actually, that's the wrong layer. I'm dragging the edge, holding down shift so it clips to the time marker. Next, I'm going back before I enter the scene. There we go. I'm holding on control, right arrow key. There we go. It's the first frame. So I'm holding on shift, dragging, it's clipping. Alright, so the area we have to roto is this. And hopefully it's not that many frames. Okay, so at this point, basically all we gotta do is roto. Shouldn't be too hard. So when I did this the first time, I actually went in the middle, selected myself, then went forwards, and then went back to the middle and selected myself backwards. But that turned out to be quite a headache because I had to move a bunch of keyframes around and it was just a nightmare. So I'm actually gonna start at the beginning now. So I'm just gonna disable. I'm gonna turn this back up. Gonna disable this layer. I'm gonna go ahead, grab my pen tool, and let the nightmare begin. So, God, I don't want to do this again. Why am I doing this myself? Let's go ahead and select my finger and my phone. So let's turn this to full so we see what's happening. I make sure the layer is selected first. Okay, so reflection. Nope, background plate. Let's actually rename this to Roto. Cool. So once again, I just pressed enter and typed it in. So I'm gonna select my fingers. Also, the least amount of keyframes makes it a lot easier to work with. So there we go. It's perfect. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So there you have it. That's the first frame we rotoed. Go to the next frame and repeat. Actually, before you do that, remember to go into mask, mask 1, mask path, enable that. So now you can actually move it around and it creates keyframes. Alright, so yeah, see you when it's done, I guess. Actually, before I do that, let me just do this frame now. Alright, so what you'll see happening is that it fits around here, but then you're missing parts. So because I can stretch it out to there, that's fine, but now I gotta do the rest. So you're gonna press on G or go select your pen tool, add a keyframe, add it to this finger around here, like that. Add another keyframe. Sorry, add another, those aren't keyframes. Add another, whatever they are, and move them around. Add another one, and there you go. Ain't that lovely? Alright, next. Double click one so you can move it. Alright, then just click off, and you should be able to drag them. Alright, that looks good. That's fine. G, add a keyframe. Sorry, I keep saying keyframe. They're not keyframes. G, add another one. I'm pressing G and then I'm pressing V to go to the mouse. So V, and actually, I'm going to add another one right here. I hope that you can understand why it's one of the most hated jobs in VFX. Good God. Go to the next frame. Once again, select this. Put it there. Call it a day. Now, actually, having done this once already with this clip, it's looking like doing it this way is going to be a lot faster. So I'm just move that there. Move that there. Move it there. Move it there. You get the point. Straighten this out. Cool. G, V, and drag that out like that, and drag that out like that. Actually, might want to do that. Cool. Next frame. I am just going through these. Alright, see when it's done. I don't think there's much more to say about this because that's literally all there is to it. So actually, before I go, because also I don't want this video to be too long, that's why I'm trying to leave and just speed this up in post-production. But I don't want to forget to mention anything. So let's see what we have so far. So far this is what we got. Cool. It looks fantastic, doesn't it? Alright, so be back when I'm done.